In last 1 month, I have visited multiple interior sites and I realized something shocking. Most homeowners don't actually know what they're paying for, and most quotations they don't clearly mention what is included and what is not. That's where budget problem begins. If you are planning interiors, be very careful before finalizing any quotation. And most quotations are not clearly mentioning the actual scope. On paper, everything looks fine, but when you go deeper, you'll find missing scope, hidden items, and hidden prices, and unrealistic pricing. This is how we avoid confusion at Studio A. So here in Studio A, we are dividing four phases. The first phase is like understanding the space and understanding the scope. The second one is budget clarity. Third phase is design clarity. The fourth one is execution. If you want clarity before starting your interiors, DM plan. I'll guide you step by step. So the first phase is all about understanding the scope and space. Here, this is the first meeting with the client, between the client and designer. So here what happens, the client must have a lot of data from Pinterest or Instagram, any social media. They'll save a lot of reels and a lot of data, and the designer is the first time he is going to the site and he must understand the space. Like in Studio A we work like, for the first meeting we'll take the complete measurement of the site, and we note complete requirement of the client, like what are the items they included, uh, every item. Like I say, if we are going to any grocery store, like consider DMart or any grocery store, we'll make a list of items, right? Likewise, clients must have ensure that what are the items they really need and what are the items they really want. So they'll whatever the items they need, randomly they'll make a list of out of it. After that, every requirement, every Pinterest images or any videos from Instagram or YouTube, we have to understand, as a designer we have to understand the requirement of the client and what really client wants. So the first phase will be end with a lot of data and a lot of conversations. So this is the first phase we completed with understanding the scope and understanding the space. If we have any doubts regarding scope, I'll give a glimpse about how the scope will be. The first one, like the most important one, electrical planning prior that. The second one is types of lights and types of colors they need in the house, and fall ceiling, what type of fall ceiling they need, like layered ceiling or plain ceiling or any designer ceiling, and the types of lights they are going to use in the fall ceiling, and type of wiring they prefer. Like so many interior designers are using like flexible pipes, or some are using PVC pipes for fall ceiling to maintaining the electrical layout. The next thing is like types of kitchens they need, modular or manual, and types of finishes they need, and types of designer TV units they need, and as well as types of wardrobes they need, like sliding wardrobe, hinged wardrobe, or armadio kind of things from flooring to ceiling. So everything has to note it down from the client side. Like there are so many things, like what kind of sofas, what kind of furnitures they need, what kind of wall panels, wall designs they need. So if they have any clear design ideas, they must take that as advantage for the designer, because they'll know better after getting the information from the client. So this is where the scope will end. The second phase will be the budget clarity, where the most of the clients get confused and get scared, because everyone considering the same scope, but when it comes to different designers or different companies, the complete budget is different, but the scope is same. So here I'll make it sure, because I know this is the toughest closing phase for clients and designers. Here, what I'll do in our studio A, what we'll do if there is a budget constraint, we'll divide scope into four phases. Like phase number one, must need. Phase number two, they must want. Phase number three, completely electronics, and the phase number four is completely decor. Likewise, we divide it because in phase one, we'll consider the exact requirement of the client, which is they need immediately, like fall ceiling, wiring, electrical layout and painting, woodwork, and the simple furniture like beds and sofas. Likewise, they can divide the phase one, and the phase two will be like if the budget is constrained, they can plan something later, like curtains. For suppose they need some furniture, new furniture, sofas, and curtains, and balcony design. So in second phase, they can plan it. Then the phase three is completely about electronics like ACs, refrigerators, whatever they need, they'll plan it accordingly. And the fourth phase will be like the decor work. So if they need really, so we can plan it on completely later on the fourth phase. So there will be no glitches in the ongoing interior work. So these are all the phases we can divide and we can make it happen because the scope is completely depends on the budget. So the budget what we are spending is completely depends on the scope. So make sure where we are investing, where we are not. After finalizing the scope and after finalizing the budget, the next phase is designing phase. This is the phase where clients get the exact view of their scope and what they had in their vision. So likewise, every family member has their own requirements. According to the requirements, we plan their home, we create, we take the measurements and we take the requirement and we take the considerations of the family members and as per their requirement, we plan it in a way like what kind of theme it will suit for their home we'll suggest, and as well as we take the requirements and as well as we take the suggestions from the clients too, so what they need exactly. So this is the place where this in this phase we'll finalize the complete home, like 50% of the work will be done in the designing phase only, because when we before we are going into the execution, there must be very minimal kind of changes will be done. If the maximum changes will be done in execution phase, there will be a again the budget will rises from the above the quotation. So that's why we prefer there must be a coordination between the designer and client in the designing phase only. They have to check every single entity what they actually need, what they actually scoped, and uh, how it will look like. So this is the very crucial stage, and every home must design in a way like it will breathe, it will have a liveliness feel, and they must have declutter feeling in their home, organized designs, and everything has to be considered in a way like they require. The final stage is the execution phase. So here where the teamwork will win. See, we have in our studio A, we have a separate execution team which we call as a studio A projects. So what they'll do, they have multiple teams like project manager, supervisors, procurement, and designers who will work with project managers, and as well as quality checking team. So these are all the teams, they'll work parallelly to complete a project, because we are creating our operations teams like a strong team like Avengers, because they have to do work parallelly and they have to understand the space parallelly, and they have to coordinate with the client, designer, and supervisor, including execution workers. Even our execution workers team are also they are playing a very major role in studio A, because our team they are traveling with us since approximately I think 8 to 9 years. So they are working with us since approximately decade. So their efforts must be considered. We are happy to have such a team like that, and as well as I can say, execution process is completely a teamwork, and a group of team members like project management, supervisor teams, and site management, procurement team, they are work together to complete a project. This is how Studio A works, and this is how Studio A projects work, and this is how our design team works. So these are all the considerations we have to take before assigning a project or before finalizing a quotation. And Yeah, there must be a transparency in our team. We have a very strong and communicated team. They are working with us from since decade. So yeah, we can say these are all the phases which we have to take considerations before finalizing any quotations.